And we are back to talk about episode 3, season 1 of The Walking Dead. I'm Justin. I've got Jessi hanging out with me. And Jessi, for those listening, if you listened to last episode, you know that Jessi has now officially become a fan of The Walking Dead. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, I'm here.
Here's your t-shirt.
Thanks.
I have to teach you the secret handshake the next time we're hanging out.
Okay, can't wait. We can't do it through the computer?
No, there's limits there.
There's fingers involved.
Yeah, there's fingers and palms and
Okay.
slides and clicks, and I mean it's a whole thing.
It's a lot.
One day you'll be brought in. But so for episode 3, we pick up right where episode 2 left off, and we pick up with Glenn getting to camp with his cool new car. And I don't know about you, but I kind of felt bad for him. He gets out and he's all excited, and they're just bitching at him. I mean, I get their point.
Well,
but
I'm with them. I even said before they said, "What a dumbass."
Yeah, I mean, you bring this extremely loud thing right back to people trying to survive the apocalypse. But I mean, he was so happy and
Okay, but listen, it is not difficult to turn an alarm off. Literally, all you have to do is unplug the battery, plug it back up.
Is that it?
That's all. Yeah.
You speak as if you've stole vehicles before.
No, I had a car, a Jeep, that literally the alarm went off every time I unlocked it.
No kidding.
But I didn't have to do that. All you have to do is crank it up. I don't know why that didn't work for the car, but I'm pretty sure, and you know what? I might be wrong. They'll let me know. But I'm pretty sure you can just unplug the battery.
Well, so Glenn gets back to camp, and everybody's fussing at him for being loud, but then right behind him comes the whatever type of truck they were driving there, and Rick gets to reunite with his family. What did you think about that?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I almost cried, but also it took him so long to get out of the truck. I was like, get out.
See, I would have been the same way, though. You're being brought back to camp to meet a whole bunch of people that you don't realize that you know some of. So it's like a whole group of strangers. I certainly wouldn't have hopped out and been like, hi, guys. I would have definitely just been behind the truck like, all right, let's do this. Let's meet all these strangers.
Yeah, but also it's like he didn't know they were there, and he was seeing these other people reunite with their family, and it probably hit him really hard,
oh yeah,
isn't me, and they're so happy and I'm not, but dude, oh my God, it was intense because it kept showing Lori and Shane, and I'm like, what are they thinking? And it's like, are they gonna tell Rick what's gonna happen?
Oh yeah, you were wondering are they just gonna straight up be like, hey, so glad you're back, bro, look, we've been boning, but we thought you were dead, so no harm, no foul, right?
I mean, really, I really want to know, but I mean, I'm still wondering. I mean, even though I've gotten a little bit more insight into the whole Lori Shane thing, I still wonder if she's going to tell him or if he's going to tell him.
We will have to find out in future episodes.
I know, you know, I'm not going to ask.
It's going to get spicy. But we get, because that's where I think some of the acting improved, man. I think the look on Shane's face, I think John Bernthal, who plays Shane, did a really good job. The way when Rick walks around the corner and Shane sees him, that was a good reaction. He genuinely looked like a mixture of disbelief, happy, and oh shit, all kind of rolled into I thought he did a good job.
I totally agree. Yeah, I was like, okay, so when it showed Shane, I was like, all right, how does he feel about this? And that's all the stuff that I got from his face. So.
He's a good actor, man. He and what's cool is, so Shane, if you pay attention, little inside thing here, if you pay attention to Shane, every time he gets frustrated, he rubs his head. It's just a thing he does, where if he's pissed and stormed off, he rubs the back of his head. And that's not something John Bernthal actually does. He said when he was making the character, it was just this tick he gave him. Kind of a signature thing to that character that you could always tell how he was feeling, because if he was really frustrated, he'd be rubbing the back of his head.
I'm gonna be looking for that now because I did not notice that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. John Bernthal's awesome, man. He also plays like the Punisher, and he's had a lot of other roles, but he's I really like him. Shane is a little different. Shane, the character is a very divisive character. You either like him or you hate him. But
I don't know, man. One of the people in the comments on I can't remember. Oh, I think it was on my TikTok. They were like, newsflash, or I hate to break it to you, but you're never gonna like him.
Damn. Well, maybe now I will, just to be a hipster.
He's just so, like, even if he was a good person in the show, which I don't think he is, maybe he will be, but the way he moves is so weird. It's distracting. Shane? Yeah.
You distracted by how muscular and awesome he is?
No. Are you kidding? No, the way he moves, like he's got stiff movement. He's got like stiff kind of like, you know, I get what you say. Well, he's got that kind of like alpha male kind of walk, like kind of has his arms out a lot of the times, and you know, yeah, give me a break, Shane.
You know, but it's good because that's his character and he does it well. You got to meet Daryl. I can't wait. Yeah. Once you get into the show and you get to where we started, you can go back and listen to our old podcast, because I always love Rick and Daryl's relationship and calling him Daryl.
Daryl.
I love you, Daryl. You're my brother, Daryl. But what did you think of Daryl? First introduction. He comes out the woods. He's like, Jesus, guys, you got to shoot him in the heads. Come on, don't you know nothing?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was impressed by his ability to get the zombie on the first try where it needed to be got, because they had the whole village on that one zombie and couldn't kill him. So I was like, okay, you coming in here like that. But then he was just so mad, just like Merle.
Yeah, yeah. Lots of anger.
And they, like everybody else, kind of set me up to not like him anyway, because they were all very intimidated by him, which I'm like, y'all need to work together and not be intimidated by anybody, because it's the zombie apocalypse. So I already didn't really like him to begin with, but he's pretty impressive at the bow shooting or whatever. So. Oh,
yeah, the crossbow. Yeah, he's a beast with that thing, man. But like realistically, when you think about it, that is like one of the dumbest weapons, though, in the zombie apocalypse, because you only get yes, it's quiet. I understand the thought being like a gun is loud, it'll attract more walkers. But when you think about it, you know, if you've got a couple of zombies on you and you're like, and I mean, those, you know, have you ever pulled back a crossbow?
Have not been able to.
Like it's a strong
I'm
draw.
not strong enough.
Oh yeah, and if you get to like the heftier draws that have a lot of power, I mean, sometimes you have to use these little attachments to actually get it pulled up, and so you imagine like multiple zombies coming up, and you're like, phew. Jesus. I mean, and Daryl in the show is a beast. Yeah. Like he just straight up, boom, wha. So, I mean, I guess if you're Daryl, it works a little better. But, you know, in the real side of it, a crossbow would not be useful, I feel, past like the first shot.
No. And plus you have to go back and you have to go get the freaking arrows. Does he use that throughout the show, or does he have any other weapons?
You'll see. He kind of switch. I mean, that's his signature thing. I mean, like throughout the show is he has the crossbow, but I mean, you'll see him use other weapons at times, but you know, I do like that a lot of times they do show him pulling the arrows out though. Like he usually always gets his arrows out. It's a few times where he doesn't, but you know, a lot of times he does, because you can't just go to the store and buy them anymore. So you got to kind of conserve them, you know. He's
going to have to whittle him some arrows.
And he does actually. Like he does actually make like some homemade arrows, you'll see later on.
Okay.
But yeah, Daryl is there was this whole thing before you started watching the show where it was like, if Daryl dies, we riot. Everyone was just so like in love with Daryl.
Everybody's in love with all the characters that I just don't see me liking.
Yep. Well, Glenn is one that a lot of people were in love with, and you like Glenn, so you've got that in common.
I agree with that one.
And you like Dale. I think a lot of people like Dale.
Yeah.
And then
I hear a whole lot about Daryl. That's one of the names I associate with the show. So I was like expecting something different, I guess.
Well, Daryl is kind of like Glenn, and what we love about him is his character progression, how he evolves throughout the show. You know, that's one thing the show's really good at, man, is they'll take a character that you really are not fond of, like you start off thinking, oh, I hate this douche flute, and then like as the show progresses and their character kind of evolves and changes, you start to really root for them. You know.
Yeah.
And then.
All right.
I'm trying to think. Okay, so we get Lori and Rick are reunited.
Yeah.
And was it in that episode where you see them like sleeping in the tent together?
Yeah.
And
she asked him if he wanted his wedding ring back. Like, why wouldn't he? That's a dumb question.
I'd be like, yo, I literally just traversed all of Georgia looking for you. Yeah. No, I just wanted some booty.
Right. She's like, sitting there apologizing to him, and I really don't think that he realizes the stuff she's apologizing for.
You're exactly
which is so
right.
sad.
Yeah, that's a good observation.
So,
that's a good observation. Yeah. Like to him, it's like she's just apologizing. He just thinks she's apologizing for losing hope that he was alive, but like, no, she's apologizing for way more than that.
Yep. So
I'm grateful
to you,
Shane.
Like, why? I need to know why Shane told Lori that Rick was dead.
You will find that out, actually. There will be a little clarification
on
that. There will be a little bit more clarification on that. But yeah, and it's really awkward when they're sitting at the fire and Rick is like, "I'm grateful to you, Shane, for keeping him alive," and it's like, oh, he was doing more than keeping him alive.
She would.
He was keeping that sex drive alive. But so
keeping it nice and warm for you.
I'm not even going to go there. I was going to say something really dirty. I'm going to keep that in my mind. But
I had something dirtier I was going to say. So
now I want to hear yours.
No, because my parents might watch this. So.
All right, after I'll tell you mine, you tell me yours.
All right.
But so a lot happens in this episode. So you have Rick reunite with his family. You're introduced to Daryl. You have, of course, they decide to go back. And from Lori's perspective, like I totally understand that because it's like you literally just got back and now you're going back out there.
But didn't she like offer him up to go at first? Like, she was like saying that he was going to go without him saying first that he was going to go. I must have misunderstood what she said.
I don't think so, because she was very against it and Shane was very against it because they both were like, you're going to go back for someone. And then you had what? Daryl attacked Rick.
Yeah.
Remember that? And I love that like when I do my Daryl impression, have you ever watched, do you like Hank Hill? Do you like King of the Hill?
Yeah.
All right. Whenever I do a Daryl impression, it always sounds like Dale Gribble. It's just like pocket sand. And I love that when Daryl goes to attack Rick, it's like pocket squirrels. He throws the squirrels at Rick, like charges him. It was like pocket squirrels. You know you're a redneck if a fight starts with you slinging squirrels at someone.
That's true.
But
100%.
He's like, "Well, find my brother." Norman Reedus, though, I just remember like watching the episode with him in it and with a mutual friend of ours and going, "Wait a minute, ain't that the guy from the Boondock Saints?" And then he's like, "Holy crap, it is!"
And I loved him on that movie.
Oh yeah. That's he's from the. I was like, wow, he's been in a lot actually. He was in a Lady Gaga music video. He's been in a lot of stuff.
A music video?
Yeah, I think it was Bad Romance. He's in there for like a second or two.
I'm gonna have to watch it. Go back and watch it
because he was like a model beforehand or something.
Oh.
Oh, model Daryl. Do you like this pose, Rick? Do you understand why Rick wants, I mean, like, what do you feel about them going back to rescue Merle? I mean, do you think that was stupid, like just leave him, or do you kind of get where Rick's coming from?
Honestly, I'm so torn because I feel like I don't know, because you would think like the more people, the better. And he was an asshole. So do we really need him? I don't think so. But then it's like, but that's Daryl's brother. And if he's still alive up there, then it makes sense to go back and get him. I mean, don't know.
It's a conflicting position to be in, man. It's a morally split kind of decision. Like on one hand, he's an absolute douchebag who will benefit the group in no way, shape, or form. If anything, will probably bring the group down. But at the same time, he was. I mean, that's like Rick said, though. That's no way for anything to die. I mean, yeah, he was an asshole, but leaving someone chained to a roof to starve to death or be eaten alive with no way to fight. I mean, it's a terrible way to go. And he has a brother. And how would you feel if someone did that to someone you care about? So it is a really good part of the show where we get to like this morally, you really could look at it from either angle. It's like in the grand scheme, he probably shouldn't come back. They probably should just leave him. It's not worth risking your life to save him. But on the other hand, that's a really crappy way to die.
Well, I'm glad they went back for him because now I want to know what's up with his missing hand and where he is and how he got out and all that. So,
yep. And you're only going to have to wait a while to find out. I will tell you that.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be a while before you find out something like where he is or what he's doing. Yeah, or if he's even alive.
I'm glad I didn't skip. I mean, I'm glad I didn't keep watching until the 4th episode then because I was literally going to watch that just so I knew. and so I'm glad I didn't get into it.
I will say, you talk about cringy, the 4th episode, and it's not my least favorite episode of the show. Surprisingly, we're talking about how much people love Daryl, and even though I totally get it, the later on in the show, the Daryl focused episodes where it's just around Daryl are like literally my least favorite episodes in the entire show because they are effing boring as hell. But the 4th episode, I feel, it's called Vatos. That's the next one. I feel it's pretty cringy in a lot of parts, and I want to see. I feel like you're going to kind of pick this episode apart. But with that said, we'll get to that, of course, on the next one. But I like when Shane was like, "You're going to risk your life for," I can't remember exactly what he said, but he's like, "You're going to risk your life for a redneck piece of trash like Merle Dixon." And then Daryl's like, "Watch your tongue when you talk about my brother," or something. And he's like, "No, I know what I said."
Yeah, I remember that part.
Love or hate?
Like, no, I said it right.
Yeah, love or hate Shane, man. You got to admit, he's a beast.
Him a douchebag.
He did call him a douchebag. Yep. Watch how you talk about my brother. Oh, I meant what I said. Shane's a badass, man. Like Shane, love him or hate him, though, he's someone you don't really want to be against.
I don't want to body shame anybody, but he's just such an asshole. And I just want to go ahead and say that, like, his ego is too big for somebody that has such big earlobes.
Oh my gosh, I think that he's mentioned that in interviews before, like that's an insecurity.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh well, now I feel bad. I'm sorry because I know you're a real person and those are your real ears and you are not your character, and now I feel really bad.
Body shaming, Jessi. We don't condone body shaming on The Walking Dead. So how did you feel? I know you were rooting for Shane when he was beating the hell out of Ed.
Yeah, because I was, like, I know Shane was taking out his anger on Ed, and it was anger for something that was really stupid. Like, you're mad your best friend is back, and now you can't hook up with his wife anymore. Come on. But Ed deserved it. Ed is a piece of shit.
Yeah, and
he deserved it.
He certainly did deserve it, and I'm not even going to try to lie or make you think that. Oh man, I should have messed with you. I should have been like, you ought to see Ed's character development. He's like the most popular character in the show.
Nah.
No, I feel like it's safe to say in a show when you beat women from that point on, there's no redeeming your character.
No.
I mean, most.
So
I'm sure.
Is that his wife?
Yeah, Carol. Another fan favorite is Carol. Her transformation is pretty wild.
I like her hair.
It didn't. I'm not a big fan. I think she's. If you see her later on with like long hair, she's a really really pretty lady, and like the short hair. I don't think. Just like me, I don't look good with long hair, so I'm not body shaming. I'm just saying as far as
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a matter of opinion. So.
Oh yeah, my opinion. Short hair don't work for her. It works for some people. We're guys and girls. Some can pull it off, some can't, but I don't think Carol can.
Yeah, you better watch your mouth there, bud.
I know, you're like literally using the Justin. You've got the Justin haircut like circa 2012.
I literally woke up like this, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that is exactly how I did my hair like in 2012 when I was watching The Walking Dead when it first came on.
Hey, I'm retro. Yeah.
That's what you did, and you cut your hair that way for the podcast to be me back when I was it's so deep.
It's full circle.
And this was the episode, wasn't it, where before beating the crap out of Ed, like Shane goes over to him and tells him to like stoke the fire because they're gonna see, like to keep the fire low. And
yep.
Gone. What does he say? He's like, pull that thing out. I know at first I didn't realize like he was talking about the extra log at first, but like it took me a while to realize. I thought at first he was talking about a gun, like go on and pull that thing out, like basically saying like go ahead and threaten me with your gun, whatever. And then for a brief period I thought he was talking about his willy. Just go on and pull that thing out. But
speaking of that part, didn't Shane say something about secrets or something? He alluded to that there was something that Ed was doing that Shane knew about that Ed wouldn't want everybody else to know about.
Probably that he was, if he said that, it was probably, beating the crap out of his wife.
Maybe.
I mean, he just brazenly like, pow, man, just smacked the taste out of that woman's mouth in front of everybody.
And then she was apologizing to him after he got beat up. No,
oh, yeah.
Don't do that. And that poor lady.
And that's sadly how abuse is a lot of times. It really is. That's how people that are stuck in those situations. So they did good on portraying her that way too. It's like, because that is, there's just this, I don't know. It's terrible that people get caught and stuff like that. But so we had Ed get his ass whooped by Shane. We had, of course, Daryl at the end of the episode. We see the hand just laying there like,
yes,
this guy done sawed his hand off.
It was his only option.
And what's bad is if he would have just gotten like a pair of pliers out of that bag instead of a saw, then he could have just taken that little C-clamp that he was hooked to. Well, that piece of threaded rod he was hooked to, undone that thing and just been good to go. But I guess when zombies are like busting through the door, you're just like, the hell with everything.
Yeah. I wonder, I guess the zombies didn't get through the door because they had to cut the chain.
Mm-hmm. So he just panicked.
He was like freaking out for no reason.
And what about the beginning of the episode where we start with Merle on the roof, like having flashback conversations with himself, like I guess when he was in the military, and then he just starts spazzing out like the reality hits him that he's trapped. And I thought that was some pretty good acting on his part too, just of someone who's not in their right mind. He doesn't have his drugs, and he just like flashes back and realizes like, oh crap, and then just freaks out. I thought that was pretty good acting.
It was, but for his character, I was like, dude, this, because even in that situation, he was still being such an asshole.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, this guy has issues, like 100%.
Oh yeah, there's definitely some. You'll delve into and learn about the Dixon past as the show goes on, and because you called it like last podcast, you said straight up like those two have got to have some childhood trauma.
Yeah,
and I was like, damn, Jessi, you good?
I'm good.
You should go into psychology. But
I don't think anybody wants me psychologizing them.
Hey, can you psychologize me?
Sure thing, Daryl.
Pocket squirrels. Like, forget the crossbow. That should have been Daryl Dixon's weapon the entire show, is that out of nowhere he's constantly throwing squirrels at people.
Yeah.
Walker squirrel.
He should like put them in the crossbow and like shoot them at people.
Oh man, it'd be like that.
But he should light them on fire first.
Flaming squirrel.
Somebody needs to do a parody show, and like, how good would that be? There's like so much to work with.
Oh yeah, you can find a video that's really funny. It was on like a late night show, but it was with Norman Reedus, and it was talking about it was a parody, but it was like his training. And it actually has him in it, and it's like showing back when he learned for the show how to use the crossbow, and it's freaking hilarious, man. I need to find and send you that because that's probably back in like season 2 or 3, back when the show was just really blowing up that they did that. But it's hilarious because he ends up like accidentally shooting a person with it, and It's pretty good. I mean, it's
Was the person
scripted,
okay?
Oh, it was scripted, so it was just a fake parody. But it is.
Oh, duh. Sorry.
So at this point through episode 3 now, I know last episode Glenn was your boy. That was still your favorite. Is Glenn, and as we get into episode 3, is Glenn still your favorite character?
Yeah, because really I've only seen like the bad side of a lot of them still. So,
do you love Glenn?
No.
I don't.
Do you?
Yes.
Do you love Rick?
Yeah.
Do you love Rick?
Oh, I'd give him some Grimes.
Gross.
I don't even know what that would be. Now get ready for my Grimes.
I'll bump some uglies in the woods.
But no, Rick is certainly my man. But I do love Glenn. Glenn has some of the best moments in the show. Gosh, there's so many more characters for you to meet that I can't wait for you to meet.
I'm excited.
All right. So obviously Daryl is not in this question because you know that everybody loves Daryl. But like, is there a character that you hate that you think you're going to end up loving?
No.
You don't think you'll ever like Merle?
No.
You don't think?
But I mean, like, I know that there are characters that I hate now that people end up loving. But I just like, if I didn't know that, I can't see myself liking these people. I mean, maybe Rick. I don't hate him. He's just not my favorite. But I think I'll end up liking him.
You just think he's goofy.
He is very goofy, very, very dramatic in a cringy way. Like the way he talks is just like.
If you were looking for your kids, you'd be dramatic too.
Yeah.
All right. I am is not a man.
No, he's just like so sentimental, and like I said, that is a me issue, and I know that. So that's why it's cringy to me.
Don't you project your issues onto Rick Grimes? He doesn't deserve that.
Listen, I can't help how that works. I'm working on it though.
All I am is a man looking for his wife and son. Anyone who gets in the way of that's going down.
Yep. Officer friendly.
There definitely are some lines in the beginning that Rick gives that I'm like, oh my God, that could have been scripted so much better. Like that.
Yeah.
But it grows on you.
Yeah. I can see that.
So by now you're hooked. So I know that soon you'll be watching episode 4 and we can review that.
Yeah.
There's only 6.
I might watch that tonight.
Do it. There's only 6 episodes in the first season.
What?
Yeah, and then all other seasons have 16 episodes, but there's only 6 episodes in season 1.
Okay.
I am stoked for you to get into season 2, man. And like, there are just some twists and turns in this show that you never see coming, and I certainly think that you've got some surprises in store for you.
Yay! I'm excited for real.
Yay, surprises.
Yay!
But I think that's going to wrap this one up. I think what we need to start doing, we didn't do it in the first 2, but JP and I used to rate these episodes on a scale of 1 to 5 stars.
Okay.
And what we would do is put our hands where the other one couldn't see them and then say 1, 2, 3 and pull up like your rating. If it was 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5. So at this point, by episode 3, let's rate episode 3. Put your hand where I can't see it. And on the count of 3, bring it up. 3, 2, 1. I did that backwards. Oh, you gave it 5 stars. See, I gave it like 4.5. You gave it 5. That's awesome.
Well, it was so much that went on. Like they reunited. Shane beat up Ed. I met Ed. I met Daryl. I met it was a lot that happened. It wasn't slow in any sense of the word. So I don't know.
It really picked. I told you that first episode really is a little slower. That's why I tell people like Lost. I'm like, get through the first season. The first season is a little bit to kind of trudge through, but once you get into it, it gets so much better. And that's kind of the same way with episode 1 of The Walking Dead. Like it's good, but it picks up so much so quick. Like right after that, shit just takes off. So, Well, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to find us on Patreon. I think I forgot to say that last podcast. Patreon.com/thepodcastingdead so we can get Jessi a good mic set up for when we do these remotely.
Yeah, so I don't sound like I'm in a jar.
You do sound like you're in a jar.
Oh no, where did you go? You like glitched for a second. I was like, are you laughing that hard? Like you were like
Yeah, Jessi and I can see each other, so it's like you've glitched sometimes too. You'll be like, and then it glitches and you're still talking, but your face is like, it almost glitched right there when you made it. That would have been wonderful. But let us know. Let's go back in time and tell us what you thought about episode 3 in the comments section. And congratulate Jessi on finally liking the show.
Yeah.
But we will see you soon for episode 4's review and discussion. In the meantime, I'm Justin.
I'm Jessi.
And we are the Podcasting Dead. Cheerio.
Bye.
Have a good night, day, evening, whenever you're listening.